So we're doing the chopping today. We got the Pioneer test block getting chopped and the Seedway test block getting chopped. And what we did here last week is we chopped this whole front section because we had an enormous amount of compaction right there because we had to load all our manure tanks. So we wanted to make it somewhat more even. It's still sagging, but you have that. And then we chopped here too to make this even also for John. So they're both getting chopped today. John's just here first right now. He moved his signs because we kind of messed up his display situation, but he's got it all figured out.
No, I just pulled the signs. I laid the signs on the ground in front of the varieties. I got everything flagged out so we can make sure we grab the right 6 rows of everything. You know, plot looks pretty good overall. I mean, I was here on the 11th of July, 1 year to the date that it had flooded. We did not get flooding this year, but we did get a lot of rain. August 9th, we got some severe winds. We had 50, 60 mile an hour winds. For the most part, everything held up pretty good.
There's one test that one variety that got hit pretty hard, and then another one, but that corn's about a foot or two taller than the rest, and another one that kind of got affected, but for the most part, it held the wind great.
Yep. So, I mean, take a quick look at this. We started at 105 day.
This is a Seedway. We cut it off so you can easily see the difference. And then
and then we go down to a 91 day. So we got quite a range here. I think there's 18 or 19 varieties in here. The bulk of them are new varieties this year. We got new Smart Stack Pros, some Power Core and List products. We had 2 brand new Roundup Ready Leafies in here. Yet to be determined on one of them, whether we keep it.
Because of the wind?
Yeah, we could take a walk down.
Yeah. You want to show some ears? Last year I had people complaining that we were faking our results at the first 10 feet because the ears get more sunshine, but this year...
This has been cut off and...
That's the neighbors chopping. So we are 50 feet in and there's still double ears.
Not all fully developed, but
no, I wanted to, but you don't get much more farther into the field than
so this one's 104 day.
So the ones with double ears are less developed just because there's less sunshine in here to handle it.
Okay, everybody. Now I got huge paws. Take that back. Small hands, small feet, but pretty good size ear and corn.
Yeah.
Anyways, but that's a 104 day variety.
It'd be a nice cob to pick.
Some of this is dual purpose, but it's kind of long for this area up here. Some guys would.
Because our picking corn is already brown. Like you wouldn't be chopping it, basically.
So this is another one. This one's another 104 day. We brought on a few. We brought on a fair amount of new varieties this year. With that being said, when you start getting new varieties, some of the other ones have to go, and there's some favorites of some people, but
yeah. So you see, they're not coming out of the ear.
Out of the husk, yep.
The husk I meant, and then so you're not getting birds. If you get the ears coming out, birds really love to get into it and other insects.
You may see birds, especially on the outside edge of a field, when it's first starting to get, to start to ripen.
Yeah.
And if an ear comes out of the husk a little bit,
they're going for it.
They're going for it. But we got good tip fill. This is a variety we had in last year, which did very well. It's 103 day. Won't spend a lot of time on it. Again, this is another one we had last year. We put some older varieties in as checks, so we're putting new varieties against the old ones just to see how everything compares.
Yep.
Visually.
Everything's 12 foot basically, and this one looks more like closer to 13, unless there's the one over there that's taller. Yeah, that one.
They're size ears. Kind of high ear placement on this one this year. Normally years are down here, but it all depends on the growing season. We did get more heat this year than we
We got a lot of humidity and a lot of rain, and this is a very sandy soil that thrives on that kind of condition, as long as it doesn't flood. Which, honestly, this field had optimal growing conditions because it's so sandy. It can take the water, maybe a little bit too much water on some weeks.
This is one of the new Power Core Enlist products. Gives you some more.
So for the people that don't know what those two things are.
So it gives you more above ground traits for insect control, and the Enlist part is just another chemistry that you can use on the plants for weed control. And I think most of the companies are
The same.
coming out with a little less tip fill, but this is, you know, not everything's perfect.
So no.
But I think we're going to get some good yield in here.
We'll have the.
I like this one. It's really showy in a lot of the fields that we have it placed. So
Yeah.
when we get the samples, we'll have a day where we can go over all that. It's either going to make a liar out of me, or and like competitor said, there's no crying at harvest. So we'll see what happens.
No. And everything here got treated the same. We put the same amount of manure down, the same amount of fertilizer down. The spraying got done at the exact same time. We did all of it ourselves. So we're here now with Scott, Cubby, and Tyler. They're here with the Pioneer section, and John just got the scale set up at the farm. Scott is going to be doing samples in the bunk. Cubby is measuring corn, and Tyler is here. He's the
in and out tags.
he's the field agronomist for Pioneer. Cubby owns Bordeaux Brothers, is who we buy our Pioneer from, and we'll go with this.
Scott's the area manager.
Scott is the area manager.
Territory manager. Territory.
Yeah.
Been promoted. Did you ever put any grease on that? Put it back on. Okay.
So yeah, they're gonna start probably on the one end, and just every 6 rows come over, tag everything, and that way everything is nicely ordered and work together. That way it just flows.
Yep. Did you do the distance already?
No, we gotta measure the distance for the Seedway and for the Pioneer. Yeah. So Cubby, Scott, and Tyler they're getting their list organized. That way, once we start chopping every variety from each individual brand here from Seedway and Pioneer, they can put the tag with that load, and that way when they go to the bunk and dump it after weighing it, we have the correct data with the correct variety. What?
Next year, swap sides.
Yeah, we can either swap sides, or John was saying Seedway Pioneer in the same planter, 6 by like right next to each other,
Yeah.
split. That way it's even all the way down, because,
because
the ground does change.
Yeah, and this was actually grass
2 years ago.
a couple of years ago, so it's probably a little bit healthier. So I think next year I'd like to do it different.
Yeah. We didn't think it was going to be this kind of different, but Christoph got that last of that compaction area out.
And actually, on the farther side, it's the same.
Yeah.
Down there,
That's why we're doing this, because it is not, if it was Seedway right there, if it was Vermont there, any brand, we would do the same thing, because it's not the corn's fault that happened, it's
but further down you
compaction.
go, on the other end, you can see that the corn is nice down there.
because the back of the field is the test plot. We opened up the back of it, and it was 12 to 13 feet tall back there. Christoph couldn't see where he was going.
Yeah, so I'll take some videos on that side too, on the Pioneer stuff.
No, so he got rid of that, and he's got, I think, a time around he wanted to go so the trucks could drive easier.
Yeah.
Got Pierre going by, so I throw him in the video. What do you think, Matt? Test plot. He's learning. He's representing.
Right?
So I'm here with Tyler, and he's gonna go through the Pioneer a little bit. with their corn. So I'll let you go. Whatever.
Yeah, so like Andreas said, my name's Tyler Stevenson. I'm the field agronomist for Pioneer for Eastern New York and New England. Like he said, we're standing here in front of their test plot. I think there's about 12 varieties in here today, and we couldn't be more excited about the hybrids that we're looking at here. So we have a number of different combinations of products, including some older things that we're looking at, and some newer products that include our PowerCore Enlist and Vorseed Enlist product line. So as you can see here, I'll just peel back in here. We're really far along in maturity on this hybrid, but capturing as much starch as possible. So we're about 3/4 milk line and maybe, well, not quite seeing a black layer on this product yet. So we're really perfect timing on this. This is a 93-day product in our lineup, 9377 AMXT. Again, that's one of the older products in our lineup that we're looking to replace with Chrome or Vorseed going forward in the future, as well as PowerCore Enlist, which would be for herbicide enabled technology platform for our lineup. So plants are looking really healthy, the ears are really filled out, so we're capturing as much starch and as yield as possible, and just really excited to get this test plot off and see which hybrids are going to be at the top of the heap this year.
Yeah. Have you guys, with test plots so far this year, seen any digestibility differences from last year's?
Yeah,
better, worse?
So digestibility this year is down a little bit because of the weather conditions. Very well documented that when you have a larger amount of precipitation during the vegetative stages of corn, it reduces the digestibility, and we've certainly had that this year in a lot of areas. Precipitation was variable throughout the season, so we certainly got enough to grow the crop, but again, seeing slightly depressed fiber digestibility compared to last year's crop. But starch is way up, yield is way up. Through the month of August and beginning of September, we had some lower cool temperatures during the nights, which really helped us fill out these ears and get a lot of grain laid down in those kernels. So that's helped yield a lot this year on top of some of the weather conditions that we've had, but definitely a little bit lower digestibility.
Yep. Anything else you wanted to cover?
No, I appreciate you guys having us out here for the plot.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Well, Christoph's gotten a handful of these varieties chopped now, and Tyler there, he is doing a measurement. That way we can use the truckload with the weights and then the distance to calculate the tonnage for that variety, and that way we can get some good readings for everything. Every truck's taking one pass. It's the same process as last year. We'll hop in with Christoph here. It's honestly a good one to show the different variety changes. So you can see it goes up, drops a little bit. There's different stages for each one's a little different. What have you noticed so far?
Chopping corn still. Just one way.
Nice and slow.
Funny how you can tell one variety is so much different. A day different. It's a foot taller.
Surprised how much it fills the trucks in this short.
Yes. And only 6 rows.
No, it's been some nice corn, and it looks like that all the way across both plots. There'll be some nice corn. The back of this isn't going to get chopped because it's not yet ready yet, but
I mean, this is the same corn. It just
it's ready.
It has what gullies in it, water holes, and it just this was an even field, even square plot the whole way across.
Yeah. We're gonna go to a field that's a little bit farther along before we finish here. But we had a chop when we were able to have John Cubby and Tyler and Steve show up at the, or not Steve, Scott, I mean, show up at the same time, because to do the test plots, you got to do it all together. So it's a little bit.
It's easier if they can work together and we can do it in one shot.
Yeah, that way we don't have to chop this plot today and then wait 3 days and chop the other one, because they were planted 1 day apart.
Yeah.
So really no difference. And that way the results are very easy to match up too, even though it's not planted same day next to each other, but we can still compare results by being harvested on the same day.
Yeah, and then if one was now and one was in 5-6 days,
it has a lot of time to dry down in that time, or mature, or whatever the plant's going to do in those couple days.
some of it might die. How fast some of it.
How fast some of it's drying down lately.
Yes. Most of it was on the ground, so
Yeah. So this was the, well, this is the second tallest stuff from the Seedway. The tallest stuff actually got blown over. Christoph's got to be a little careful. He can only take 6 rows, and he doesn't want to cut into the.
wow, he's fucking close. Why do I want to move over a little bit? I know, but I'm gonna hit you in a second. Fuck's sakes. Do I care if you can hit?
So we're into the Pioneer now. I think we just did the first 2 strips of it. Cubby's handing out the slips. Everything is in order, so we're doing his corn now. Anything you'd like to share?
No, I guess I would just say that, you know, as I look at this plot, you know, some of these varieties look great, and got high expectations for the yield, and you know, we're anxious to get the yield and quality data back. This variety here, 9489, is a 95-day silage corn. That's a great fit for this farm and for this area. So it'll be exciting to get the information back.
It likes the river bottom ground, but I think most corn does.
Right. Yeah.
But
fertile ground is good.
all corn basically will do good on river bottom, but you want to find that corn that just peaks on it.
Well, you can find a racehorse variety
Exactly.
that has high-end yield potential. Then you can, you know, go ahead and get that extra 20, 30 bushel, or you know, 2 or 3 or 4 extra ton of silage. And,
like the last couple years, we found the Pioneer that's working amazing in our Enosburg cornfield. If you watched last year, we were at 30 to 32 tons down there. It was peak growing for that ground. We put the same thing there this year. We'll see how it goes. So we're all done the test plot, and I want to thank everybody for coming. Tyler,
thank you,
Cubby,
thank you guys for cooperating and putting a plot in.
Scott, and John, everybody, because they're still at the farm. They're running around.
Taking samples.
Yeah. Tyler had to do a lot of measuring out. There's a handful of bear damage in this Pioneer section, and this, you can see right there to here, each one kind of had a little section he had to measure out, just to try to keep all the weights as most accurate as possible, because 20 to 60 feet depending the section, that can make a big result difference. So John got all his scaling done. Looks like a lot more paperwork than last year.
We had twice the plot that we normally have.
But it seems like it went pretty smooth.
Yep.
I heard Scott was running around.
I don't know. I haven't seen him yet. He's still over there. So.
That's what the truck driver's saying. He was working double time back there. But scale all worked good today?
Oh yeah.
That's
Changed
good.
the batteries once on one side. It's all par for the course, but no,
That's good. Lots of numbers.
A lot of numbers. You got to get the distance on everything.
Yep. He measured. He had some bear damage on some of them. He
so
measured all that. So, and a couple that had a row missing on the.
I'm saying, which one?
So Scott here, his job was probably the most hard one, right?
I think so. Yeah.
He's sweating, but he had to do all the bag marking and tests. That way that can get sent out for the Seedway and the Pioneer. They're all separated in 2 boxes, and that way they can work out their math.
Yeah.
Because you're going to send out all Seedway as well.
Yep.
So we're both going to send out each other's samples.
Yeah, we'll get
so you're going to
starch,
have 2.
dry matter,
Yep.
digestibility.
Yeah. Are you still recording that while we're figuring it out?
No. I gotta say thank you to all 3 of you guys. Well, 4, but Cubby had to leave. Thanks for doing this, and we'll see the results when those come.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.